Recently, Trump's miraculous survival of an assassination attempt has only added to an already brewing suspense, one that is almost becoming more spiritual than physical, leaving many wondering about the prophetic implications behind these events. As we delve into the prophetic voices surrounding Trump's journey and his unwavering faith, we aim to uncover the divine influences that may be shaping his path. With the 2024 election around the corner, the question remains, what do these prophetic insights reveal about Trump's future and his role in the unfolding political drama? What you're about to discover explores the prophetic undercurrents that might just be guiding his every move. Donald Trump was raised in a Presbyterian household, and over the years he has expressed a belief in God and a respect for Christian values. Trump's faith has undeniably influenced his political decisions. While in power, his administration's policies often reflected a commitment to conservative Christian values, such as appointing pro-life judges, defending religious liberties, and recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. These actions resonated deeply with his evangelical base, who viewed them as evidence of his commitment to Christian principles. One of the most dramatic and recent events in Trump's life was the assassination attempt he survived. This incident has been interpreted by many as having profound prophetic significance. Some see it as a sign of divine protection, believing that God has a special purpose for Trump that is yet to be fulfilled. This belief is strengthened by prophetic voices who claim that Trump's survival is a testament to his divine mission and that he is destined to play a crucial role in America's future. But this is where it gets intriguing. The assassination attempt has also intensified discussions about Trump's potential comeback in the 2024 election. Prophets and believers alike are closely watching to see how these events unfold, with many convinced that Trump's journey is guided by a higher power. His resilience and continued influence in politics are seen as signs that his mission is far from over. Now guess what? Trump is not the first on the list of prophetic leadership in America. Throughout history, many leaders and presidential candidates have been influenced by faith and prophetic visions, shaping their leadership and impacting their nations. Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States, is often remembered for his strong faith and the prophetic connections that seem to surround his presidency. You may not know this, but Reagan was a devout Christian who frequently referenced God and biblical principles in his speeches. He believed that America had a divine mission to promote freedom and democracy around the world. One of the most fascinating aspects of Reagan's presidency was his relationship with the evangelical community. He was often seen as a prophetic figure by many evangelical leaders who believed that he was chosen by God to lead the nation during a critical time. Reagan himself spoke of a sense of destiny and purpose, often quoting scripture and seeking divine guidance in his decisions. His famous reference to America as a shining city on a hill echoed biblical imagery, reinforcing the belief that his leadership was part of a greater divine plan. Then there is George Washington, the first president of the United States, another historical figure whose leadership was reportedly influenced by divine visions. According to some accounts, Washington experienced a series of prophetic visions during the harsh winter at Valley Forge. These visions supposedly revealed the future struggles and triumphs of the United States, reinforcing Washington's belief in the divine destiny of the nation. While the authenticity of these visions is debated, they have become a part of the legend surrounding Washington's leadership. His faith and reliance on prayer were well documented, and he often attributed the success of the American Revolution to divine providence. These are historical examples. A replica of these situations goes as far back as Old Testament times. In the Bible, we see numerous examples of God-appointed leaders whose journeys were marked by divine purpose. Take King David, for instance. He was anointed by the prophet Samuel as a young shepherd boy and went on to become one of Israel's greatest kings. Despite his flaws and mistakes, David was described in 1 Samuel 13:14 as a man after God's own heart because he sought to lead with faith and righteousness. Another example is Moses, who led the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage and through the wilderness to the Promised Land. Moses' leadership was characterized by his close relationship with God, receiving direct guidance and performing miracles through God's power. Despite his initial reluctance and the challenges he faced, Moses remained obedient to God's calling. When we compare these historical examples to Donald Trump's situation, we see both similarities and differences. Like Reagan and Washington, Trump is viewed by many as a leader with a divine mission. Numerous prophetic voices have emerged, claiming that Trump is chosen by God to fulfill a specific purpose in America. These prophecies often highlight his role in defending Christian values, promoting religious freedom, and restoring moral order. However, Trump's journey is unique in its modern context and the polarized reactions it evokes. While Reagan and Washington were often seen as unifying figures, Trump's leadership has been marked by significant division and controversy. The prophetic voices surrounding him are also more varied, with some seeing him as a divinely appointed leader and others questioning the validity of these claims. However, despite these differences, there is one common thread: the belief in divine intervention and purpose in leadership. Whether through prophetic visions, divine guidance, or a strong sense of destiny, these leaders have all been shaped by their faith and the belief that their actions are part of a greater plan. Proverbs 21:1 tells us, "The king's heart is a stream of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he will." This scripture emphasizes that God can guide and influence leaders according to his will, steering them to fulfill his plans. But do those plans include America's elections coming later in the year 2024? In the lead-up to the 2024 election, some prophets are unwavering that Donald Trump will reclaim the presidency, viewing his leadership as divinely ordained to restore America's moral and spiritual foundation. They cite visions and dreams that paint a picture of Trump overcoming obstacles and triumphing against all odds, believing that his survival of the assassination attempt is a sign of divine favor and protection. On the other hand, there are prophecies that suggest a different path, with other leaders stepping into the spotlight. Some see Kamala Harris or another figure rising to prominence, signaling a shift in America's spiritual and political landscape. These contrasting prophecies create a complex and often confusing narrative, leaving many Christians wondering how to interpret these messages. So what is the best way to approach these voices? In political matters, seeking God's wisdom is paramount. The Bible provides timeless principles for righteous leadership and governance. James 1:5 assures us, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." As we face decisions about candidates and policies, asking God for wisdom will help us make choices that reflect His will. When considering prophetic messages about elections, it's important to compare them with biblical truths and seek counsel from trusted spiritual leaders. Proverbs 15:22 states, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed." By leaning on the collective wisdom of our faith community, we can find our way around complex political landscapes with great 5ER confidence. Another significant caution in these times is the temptation to idolize political figures or misinterpret prophecies. The Bible warns us in Jeremiah 29:8-9, "Yes, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. Do not let the prophets and diviners among you deceive you. Do not listen to the dreams you encourage them to have. They are prophesying lies to you in my name. I have not sent them, declares the Lord." This passage reminds us to be wary of placing undue faith in human leaders or unverified prophetic claims. Idolatry can take subtle forms, such as placing our hope and trust in a political figure more than in God. While it's important to support leaders who uphold godly values, our ultimate allegiance must remain with Christ. Psalm 146:3 forewarns, "Do not put your trust in princes and human beings who cannot save. When their spirit departs, they return to the ground. On that very day, their plans come to nothing." In this turbulent political season, let's not forget that our ultimate hope and trust lie not in human leaders, but in God. Prophetic insights can illuminate our path, but they should never overshadow our personal relationship with Christ and our dedication to living out His teachings. How do we balance these elements? By prioritizing our faith, testing every prophecy against Scripture, and engaging in politics with a heart aligned with God's will. We must pray fervently, seek divine wisdom, and approach each political decision with humility and discernment. As we reflect on Donald Trump's prophetic journey and the coming 2024 election, let's ask ourselves, are we placing our faith in God's sovereignty and wisdom? Are we seeking His guidance above all? In this crossroad of faith and politics, let's remember that God remains the ultimate authority, guiding nations and leaders according to his perfect plan. So what do you think? We'd love to hear your thoughts on the prophetic journey of Donald Trump and how you navigate your faith in these politically charged times. Please share your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking discussions and insights. Let's continue this journey together, grounded in faith and committed to seeking God's truth in all things. God richly bless you, and see you in our next video.